Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Oracle of Delphi. And it is Soul Sister Sunday with my soul sister from across the pond, ASRIA from the UK, more specifically England. Actually, I'm going to put you over here. Bada bang, we just changed.
Like magic.
It's just like magic. Wouldn't that be great if we could visit each other just like that? Like, poof.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, you gotta love it. I can't wait. Yes, until we don't have to do antiquated air travel and planes and silver tubes. Oh, how past day. Archaic. Anyway, welcome to Soul Sister Sunday. We are talking about the epic energetic upgrades. And I will pay you $1 million if you can say that 6 times fast. Epic energetic upgrades. No, I won't pay you $1 million because I don't have it. But anyway, Azria, how are you doing today?
Oh, good. Thank you so much. Yeah, as you said, the energies recently have certainly been a wave. I don't know how everyone else has been feeling it, but I know certainly myself, like these ascension symptoms are hitting. So yeah, but it kind of comes in waves, hey? So that's what I love about these Sunday talks, because it really kind of like, even like between us and stuff, it's kind of like if you're having it and somebody else is. And I know obviously we're going to be in the chat in that later, so we're finding out what else everyone else is up to. I mean, it's just 1 minute you think, okay, I've just about leveled out, and then wow, we get another kind of like whole bunch of energy coming in. But other than that, I'm all good, thank you, lovely.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. It has been a wave, and I do not feel like the same person. I feel like ever since the 11/11 portal, and like I said last week, and I always say I don't usually feel the portals, but the last few weeks I feel like I am changing. I'm doing years and years in growth week to week, and I just am not the same person. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. And I feel so empowered and sovereign, but I'm exhausted, as everyone is. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that, folks. Yes, this is taped, and Azri and I will be lurking in the chat later on. We're going to I'll put it out as a live on my channel, so people can have the live chat, so we can talk in the chat. It's a great way to talk and get together. It's a community, and it's fun. If we can't get together in person, we get together in the chat online. And then I give Azria the video, and then she'll put it out on her channel probably tomorrow or tonight, whenever she wants to. We do have some updates. Let's say some announcements before we get to the show. First and foremost, folks, I'm going to share my screen here. I only have, for my year-end readings via email, there's only 8 left. I put these up. I put 20 up on my Buy Me a Coffee 2 days ago, and there's only 8 left. I have to do these in bunches of 20 and only sell 20 at a time because they go so quick. This is an email reading. It's a year end. I'll tell you what's going to happen, what you can expect between the end of the year. But of course, the end of the year is going to bleed into the beginning of the next year, because time is fluid. There's no time on the other side. However, if you're interested in getting these will probably sell out by tomorrow, Monday. So buy it. It's underneath in the description of this show, of this video. These are not available on my website. There's a special link underneath this video. Underneath this video, there's a special link. It's only available on my Buy Me a Coffee. And like I said, I have to do them 20 at a time because I don't want to oversell these and have people wait. It takes about 5 business days to get these. So I sell 20. Then once I sold out, I'm done for a little bit. I'll do these. It takes about a week for me. And then the following week, I'll open up another 20. So only 8 left. And when you buy this, you get an audio file and you also get a text file. So you get to hear it and listen to it. $25, only 8 left. Also, we have, and I'm going to bring up ASRIA'S beautiful website, and she's also having a little bit of, let's say, a discount, or let's say little sale, or I'll let her explain it. Take it away,
Yeah,
Miss.
no, thank you so much, lovely. So, I've had a few people come to me starting to like ask questions. So, one of the services that I do is a connection call. So, without actually sort of starting to go into some of the major services around your star lineage, etc., is really kind of underlining and having that first conversation to say, well, do we actually connect and align? What are the types of questions that you're having? Can we help in that? Because sometimes just having that conversation with somebody who is like-minded and aligned is sometimes all you need for that one step. So I welcome you to come along, and that's why I'm giving a bit of a discount on the connection calls, because I know that this time of year is not always, as I said, the best in regards to finances and stuff. So the connection call, if you put hashtag new when you go to the basket, it will give a discount there. And as I said, it's really to start opening up those conversations, opening up kind of that understanding. I mean, by all means, go through the website and have a look and see what else is there. But the one thing I am very, very passionate about, and we've already got the ball rolling here, is Alarian Rising, and that is the monthly community, because it's a bit like this wonderful Sunday that we have here. So it's the one sort of afternoon, evening, obviously depending on where you are in the world, where you can just stop and breathe. So that once a month, we will come together as a group, have meditations, share what's going on. And again, to help people this time of year and to get the ball rolling, there is a discount there as well. If you put hashtag rising in for the monthly group there as well. I'll also be starting to share, which I keep on getting lots of taps on the shoulder about, are the transmissions that come through from the star being group that I work with called the Scholars. Because there's been so many, some people call them transmissions, other people call them downloads. But it's really the information that's starting to come through, and that will be shared through obviously on the wonderful Dee's channel, mine, and also more of the personal messages through the community groups as well. So if you do want to connect in with me in any way, whether it be personal via the connection call or as a group, I look forward to meeting you on either one of those. And yeah, thank you very much, Dee.
You are so very welcome. And as I always say, ASRIA has helped me tremendously in so many ways. I recommend all her services. I don't say that just because she's my soul sister and I love her. It's really true. I don't condone or, let's say, promote anyone or anything on my channel unless I've used them or it. Let's say not used it, but I've used their services or product, and I know firsthand. For sure, for sure. All right, my soul sister. So let's get to the nitty gritty. The energetic upgrades. Woohoo! Wow, wow, wow. It's just pretty intense. A couple of things that I got from Spirit, from God and Yahshua. Two major things. One is, let me just get rid of this for, hold on. First thing is that when we ask for a bigger life and we want a great life, we don't want just a mediocre, we want like this fantastic big life, and we want these awesome, huge things to happen to us, right? And you ask for, let's say, all these attributes that you need for this life, like courage, patience, the ability to control your emotions, whatnot. We think, oh, it's going to be so easy getting there. And when we get this life, we just want it planked. Here you go. Here you go. You want your life. You want this big life. Well, here you go. And we think that the road to get there is going to be all happiness and la, 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 la. It's not so much. It's like you say, God, I want this. I want this. I have this big dream, right? I have this big dream. I don't want a mediocre life. I want a big life. And I have this big dream. God says, okay, I'll get you there. However, I have to take this out and this out. I got to in order to get there. You have to really be of a certain, let's say, you have to have these attributes, or you have to have the mental acuity, and you need to be ready mentally, not just physically, mentally, physically, spiritually, in all aspects for this big life. Because with big life, like with big power, big responsibility, right? Especially if you're a leader, which we're all leaders. And we think it's going to be so happy, and we expect it to just be smooth, but it never is. And when we ask God for courage, right? God doesn't give us, oh, all of a sudden you're brave. You have the balls of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. No. God gives us fearful situations in which we will be scared, so we can show ourselves so we can display courage and learn how to be courageous. If God wants, we say, God, Spirit, I need patience. I want to be a very patient person. God just doesn't just, okay, broop, like with the wand, like the fairy godmother in Cinderella, boop. You have patience. No, it doesn't work that way. God will put you around the most annoying situations, put you in traffic, put you in with people that are talking loud on their cell phones, put you with bad drivers, will give you opportunities to be patient, to learn patience. If God wants you, if you want to be strong, right? If you want to be assertive and you're afraid to speak up, God isn't, say, God, or Spirit, or just higher self, I want to be the type of person that's strong and courageous, and I want to be assertive. Boop, you have high self-esteem. No, God's going to give you situations in which people walk all over you or backstab you, so you can learn how to stand up for yourself or be assertive. What say you, ASRIA?
I could not agree more, and certainly amen to that. That's because how do you know if you can't feel it? So I agree 100%. How do you know what courage is if you've never had to be courageous, as you're rightly saying? How do you know what patience is if you haven't had to wait for that something that you want? It's kind of like a really brief example that's just come to mind. Say somebody who lives in a very hot country and has never seen snow, don't really even talk about snow, and they come to the UK or Europe and they feel this white stuff coming down from the sky. They're like, what's that? It's snow. And then they know what it is. So yeah, I cannot say any more on that. It is just so true. You don't know until you feel it, you see it, you experience it. And it's like when we're talking about like the ascension symptoms and stuff, you're like, well, I thought it was, which we'll come on to later, but I thought it was one thing and it ended up being something else. So yeah, you don't know it or feel it until you get given it. It's like people don't know if they're clairvoyant. Then they see, as you said, you see things like through the corner of your eye and stuff like that. You think, that's what that is. So yeah, 110% I agree. And what a wonderful way of putting it as well.
Thank you. I was just thinking that, and it's true. We just want these attributes, but we don't just. I know that we are waking up to different, let's say, talents and psychic abilities and metaphysical abilities from our different lives and from 5D. This is happening. However, when it comes to the mental acuity, the mental, let's say, frame of mind and the mental fitness, the things that we need when we do step up to the plate, because that's why we awaken first. It's because we're on the front line. We just want we don't just all of a sudden get these attributes. We learn these attributes and we learn how to display it. It's just like, how do you know what it is to run a mile unless you run a mile? It's one, like you said, it's one thing to conceive it, and it's another thing to do it. It's two different things. So a lot of people, and me included, this past year especially, and you're thinking, this awakening sucks. I expected this, my spiritual awakening and getting in touch with God, to be beautiful, and I've had nothing but people say shit luck, and I've lost my job, I lost my marriage, I lost my friends, I've lost everything. But no, you actually have gained everything. We can't expect to build our new homes on old dilapidated homes. We're holding on to all these things that we don't want. We want to get to the next level. We want something better. It's like that cartoon of Jesus and the little girl, right? He's holding this humongous teddy bear behind his back, right? With one hand. And he's asking the little girl for this tiny teddy bear. And he's like, give me this. And she's like, no, Jesus, but I love it. Meanwhile, he doesn't see that if she would just give it to him, in other words, surrender, look what he has for her, something bigger and better. But we're not willing to give up the old, even though we don't want it. Why is that, ASRIA? Why do we work against ourselves?
To be honest, I think a part of that is, and I really wish I remember who said it, but I think it's a part of the grief process as well, because it's kind of, we're trying to hold on and we're trying to hold on, and to something, as you rightly said, and again, 100% agree with you, with regards to, like, we are moving on, and I think the universe will, whether, as I said, God, Yeshua, source, however you see that, will, if we don't move on, if we don't, as you said, end that job, end that relationship, it will do it for us. Because trust me, I've been in a very similar situation where I knew my marriage years ago was coming to an end. But it was that grief. It was that grief that had already started around, I've put a few notes here: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. So whatever that cycle is, 9 times out of 10, if you potentially look at it, is in the wheel of grief, is that if you don't necessarily start moving in that direction, moving forward, because as Dee said, it's all about, we are moving. It's not stagnation. It's kind of like, well, I'll keep that job until this happens. Because you know what? That might not be able to happen if you're stuck back here. It's like you're trying to pull that kind of the Wile E. Coyote, the cartoons.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to move and pull that big bolster just to get it over the cliff.
Right.
That's what the job is. That's what the relationship is. That's what whatever that thing is that's, dare I say, holding you back.
The dead weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, the universe will find a way, because your higher self is going, as again, absolutely what Dee was saying, is that your higher self is going, I know there's more. I want more. I know that there's more freedom on the other side. I know there's more light and more of this wonderful stuff on the other side. But I've still got this dead weight. The husband, the ex-wife, the ex-husband, the shitty job, the horrible boss, the friends that you kind of need to put on your big ego pants on because that's what they live in and you don't. I like that, ego pants. That's good, eh?
Yeah, I like that.
They're making me laugh already. But you see, and then, but they need to go before you can go to that nicer stuff. And it's only with the acceptance that you come and think, oh, actually, yeah, no, yeah, you were pretty much right. That relationship wasn't doing anything for me, and let's see how good life can actually be.
Right. And when you don't take your higher self's advice or take the first the spirit, God will give you subtle nudges, or your peeps, your spiritual peeps will give you nudges, and then they'll say, come on, you got to do this. But when you don't do it, when you let the universe or God take care of it, or your spiritual peeps, it's never good. It's if you don't take care of it and you let the universe sort it out, it's always turmoil. It's always like the rug ripped from underneath you moment. It's always a tower moment. If you guys know the tarot, right? It's always this tumultuous upheaval. It's also, it needs to be that because it needs to wake you up. It needs to shake you like, hello, hello, like boop, 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 boop. Awake, awake, hello. So,
and if I can just say something, Dee, because I think,
yeah,
I'm hearing it in my head, but some of the viewers might be going, but you guys mentioned that little thing called free will the other day. So where does that play a part? Where does that free will play a part? Because clearly, if we're making the decisions and we're the ones who are sort of staying in those relationships, and I won't go too much down this rabbit hole, but I can just hear the questions coming up, and if they are great, or if I'm opening up a can of worms, just tell me. But I just want to say this one thing. Is that it's the one thing that both myself and Dee have just said is that it is your higher self that is doing this. It is higher source that is doing this. This isn't out of the realms of possibilities. You have free will in regards to what you do day to day. You have your free will of, do you go down this road or that road? You do have free will, as if I am going to eat this and I am going to eat that. You do have a free will as, am I going to hand in my resignation this week or next week? But if we're looking at the bigger picture, remember, there's the contracts that you signed, there's the lessons that you're on, there is the overall bigger picture of what you came down here to do. So, and again, I'm not going to go down too much of that rabbit hole, but just to bring into the conversation around free will, because I think that is important. And I think one or two people mentioned it last week as well. It's to say, yeah, we are going forward. And yes, the universe and source, God, will push us. But the free will aspect is that we've already made those decisions. It's just because we're in this matrix on this planet, we're going, oh, we can't do it. We can't do it. Because this planet and this matrix has got a lot to answer for. Mm-hmm. And as Dee was saying, it's on a mental level. It's on a physical level. It's on a astral level. Remember, there's quite a few bodies that make up us. So we have to make sure that all of those are in alignment. But I'm not going to go any further down that rabbit hole, but I just wanted to note that point as well. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is that we're having these epic energetic upgrades and everyone's exhausted. So so everyone's exhausted. I see all the comments in my comment section. Everyone's exhausted. My clients, my friends, we're all exhausted because we're getting these epic energetic upgrades. Mother Gaia, our earth is upgrading. She's vibrating her, she's raising her vibration. We're on this earth, we're raising with her, plus the Schumann resonance, which is the heartbeat of the earth. So that's basically Mother Gaia. Then we have all these solar flares, these CMEs, coronal mass ejections. That's all these basically light coats, light coats, light coats. We're going from carbon based to crystalline. So it's not going to be easy. So we're going to have the emotional, ups and downs, the roller coasters. We're going to feel great one day and like a truck hit us the next day. If we do a lot one day, the next day we're going to feel like we're 150 years old. It's it's good to know when other people are feeling the same ascension symptoms or the same upgrade symptoms, but there's also going to be symptoms that you're just going to go through, because this is not one size fits all. Basically, in the gist of it, it's you have to take care of yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you're tired. We're human beings, not doing. Okay, we've been programmed. You have to do. It's okay to relax. It's okay to rest. Everyone now is not sleeping during the night, or you're sleeping in shifts. If you're like me, you sleep half the night and then you're up from 3 to 5, and then from like 6 to 8 you go back and take a nap, because that's just the way it is. It's not business as usual. So it's okay to feel these energetic upgrades. It's okay to feel a little off kilter. Like I said, it's not one size fits all, but it is good to have these conversations. It's like having a cup of tea or a cup of joe, as I say over here in the United States. Asria would have to say a cup of tea over there in England. Cup of tea and a biscuit. So, it's good to have these talks because we beat ourselves up. So just take it easy and just know it's okay to feel these energetic upgrades. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. We're going through a monumental shift. And I just know that every day I feel like I'm losing time. Time will speed up. What's like 3 minutes will seem like 3 hours. And I don't know. I just feels like time actually is going by really, really quick. And 5 hours will go by and I feel it's 5 minutes. I'm like, what's happening? Have you noticed that, Azria?
Oh, 100%. Especially with it getting darker as well. You kind of wake up, do one or two things, and then you're like, it's dark again.
Exactly.
Like, I woke up and it was dark. I've just, had to sit down to have my cup of tea, and and it's dark again. So as much as you said, it's like really racing through. It's also the especially this time of year, you're like, it's like 3-4 o'clock and it's dark already. So like, oh, I'll just go out for a walk, and it's dark. But certainly, you get up in the morning and you do your thing and you blink and it's late afternoon, evening already. But then there's some days that you're like looking at the clock every like 2 hours. You're like, time is dragging. As I said, it's the wave. There's not this kind of like constant. I don't know if it was when we were kids or just growing up, but days seem to be a lot longer.
Yes. Time has shortened up.
And it doesn't matter if
really.
you wake up at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or even 8, 9 o'clock sometimes. But it doesn't matter. It's like, it just goes so quickly.
Yeah, time has sped up. And I think what's happening now is that because we're out of 3D and we're bleeding in and out, we're in 4D, bleeding in and out of 5D, because our earth is in 5D. So we're kind of depending on our soul's evolution and our frequency and our soul's vibration at the time. We're bleeding in and out of 5D. So what's happening is that there is no time on the other side. So I feel like time is not linear anymore. Time's not making sense to me. So I feel like 5 minutes could be 5 hours, or 5 hours could be 5 minutes. I just see I'm missing time. I'm
Yeah.
missing time. And I've watched a few other people, like that Consciously Erin, that I get the Schumann resonance updates. She said she's been missing blocks of time and other people. So it's good to know it's not just me, because there's other things that I've been going through too. And it's nice to know that you're not crazy. It's not just you. For instance, I've been noticing the last 6 months, especially, all of a sudden you'll just be sitting there, and all of a sudden there'll be like a pitch and a frequency change in your ear. It's almost like one ear opens up and the other one closes, and it switches, and it goes, ooh. And I was like, what is that? And then Vivid, Anina from Vivid Earth, who I'm actually going to bring up a post right now, she brought up, and that's actually that's a change in frequency.
Mm.
I just thought it was, maybe getting an upgrade or something like that, or getting a download, which could be, but she actually said it's a change in frequency. You're actually you're upgrading your vibration, which is very interesting. What do you say, Azria?
Yeah, absolutely, because it is a collective shift. I said this is happening to us individually. Yes, but it is a collective shift. And something I've always said, and something I've always really felt in myself, and certainly when we're talking about frequency, because there is a word that is being used more and more, which is fantastic. But if you see yourself as being, and I've always seen this as myself, as yourself being a radio, and kind of like 3D was one radio station, 5D is another radio station, and so on and so forth. So yeah, like in the old fashioned, not this new digital whatever, where you press the button and automatically the station comes on, but like the real old, well, my grandparents used to call it a wireless. The radio, where you just used to like turn the knob on the front, and it used to feel crackly. So 3D I see as being all the crackle. And then as we're tuning into the 5D, it's that I can never say this word, recalibration within all of our different energy bodies. It's the recalibration of, okay, what radio station am I on right now? And sometimes it'll go completely out of whack and you'll get the crackly. But then other times, like Dee was just saying, and you get those different tunes and you get those different frequencies, is that all of a sudden you'll pick up that frequency, you'll pick up that resonance, you'll pick up that radio signal again. And what the other thing I spoke about the other day as well is that also when we are talking about our star beings and our star friends, is sometimes that may also change when they get a little bit closer as well. So the people who are working with their guides and things like that, again, using that free will, if you have been saying, I would like to start working with you more, or you feel more of a connection, that is also them stepping that little bit closer. Because remember, they've got their own vibe, they've got their own signal. So if you are saying and you are putting it out there, I would like to work with you more, I would like to connect with you more, guess what? That's what they're going to do. And with your vibration and your frequency, if one is coming in a bit closer, it's kind of like in those days when, when the internet was just first starting up and you couldn't put a mobile phone, the old Nokia 3210, the little dinky things, where you could just about send a text message, and used to put that near your computer and used to get this kind of sound. It's the same thing. When you bring two vibrational beings close to each other, you're going to get a sound. You're going to get a reaction. So as part of that ascension, as part of that change in frequency, so just be aware of what have you at. And again, this is what Dee was saying earlier. What have you put out there? So if you put out there that you want to be, as you said, more patient and things like that, great. Look at what you're getting. Same with your beings and your star beings and your guides, etc. Or if you're wanting to work more with Yeshua or whatever the case may be, there is going to be that closeness. There's going to be that interaction. And to have that interaction, those frequencies need to change. Yep. I hope that helps. Well, sorry, Dee. I know you had your thing on screen there, but
it's okay. No, yeah. It's all good. It's all good. We can bring it all back up. No, but it's all good. So I just wanted to, everyone knows the prophet and the psychic Edgar Cayce. He was way before his time. Unbelievable prediction that he had for December 2025. Okay. Many, many years ago, everyone called him the sleeping prophet. Everyone knows that he went into these big trances. Oh, somebody's touching me. Okay. It's always great when we're on these shows and we're either on live or recording how they make themselves known. I guess somebody likes that I'm doing Edgar Cayce. All right. Usually, sometimes I'll see orbs. I'll get touched, and yeah, they'll go in front of the camera and make the camera go blurry. Anyway, I wanted to read this. I follow on YouTube Vivid Earth by Anina. She's from South Africa. I love her, and Carrie Kay. She's also from South Africa, and I brought up, and I actually shared these two posts on my YouTube channel. I reposted them. This is unbelievable. And this is everything that's happening now. And she ties it into the Edgar Cayce predictions from so many years ago and what we're going through right now. Okay, so this is Edgar Cayce's December 2025 prediction. Edgar Cayce predicted December 2025 to be a turning point marked by a significant increase in psychic abilities and clairvoyance. In today's context, this aligns with several real-time factors already affecting human neurobiology and energetic sensitivity. Actually implies when viewed through both a metaphysical and technical lens. Solar and geomagnetic conditions. We are entering a period of intensified solar flares, elevated geomagnetic storms, ongoing magnetosphere fluctuations. These are documented to affect your brainwave states, melatonin regulation. That's why some people, we're fluctuation. Sometimes we can sleep and sometimes we can't sleep. Intuition related neural pathways. People are really coming on that line now psychically. Emotional processing, circadian rhythms. Increased geomagnetic activity has historically correlated with heightened intuition, vivid dreams, and altered states of consciousness, which matches Cayce's description. Then she goes on to the magnetic field instability. Cayce linked the intuitive jump to change in Earth's magnetic field. Technically, the magnetic poles are drifting faster than average. Okay, that's why we feel the way we do. The magnetic field itself is weakening in certain regions. For example, the South Atlantic anomaly. A weaker or fluctuating field allows more charged particles to reach the ground plane. Okay, more photons to the ground, which means we should be really making sure we ground. This amplifies precognition, sensitivity, emotional transparency, and intuitive flashes because the human nervous system is electromagnetically based. Field changes, perceptual changes. And then we have the technology and navigational disruptionists. Okay, because of all the what's happening, we are already seeing satellite instabilities because of all the geomagnetic storms and the solar flares. GPS is drifting in and out, radio communication interference, and aviation. Okay, aviation is rerouting and that stuff. And then the 3-eye atlas convergence. Cayce obviously didn't know about the 3-eye atlas, but the prediction aligns with how many people interpret its arrival. And he said an interstellar object, highly magnetic, compositional, unusual, moving through solar system during the exact window he referenced. And then he said human intuition becoming normalized. And then he said, this is not doom. This is an upgrade cycle. So this is, in summary, this is what Anina said. Casey's December 2025 prediction is not just metaphysical prophecy. It overlaps directly with measurable solar activity, magnetosphere behavior, neurological sensitivity, increased intuitive phenomena, destabilizing technological and navigational patterns, and the arrival of Three-Eye Atlas within the same window. Taken together, it suggests a physical and perceptual acceleration phase driven by both cosmic conditions and human conscious evolution. What do you say about that, Miss Azria?
Mind blown.
I know, a lot packed in there.
That's a lot to take in, but it resonates.
Doesn't it make sense?
110%. It's not often I'm that speechless.
Yeah. It's amazing that Edgar Casey, the sleeping prophet, he prophesied this so many years ago.
In all honesty, it's not. I've heard the name a little bit, but I must hands up. It's not somebody who I know too much about. But actually, and thank you so much for sharing that, because it's just so real and so true,
isn't it?
110%. And I know I'm certainly going to go away and have a find out a little bit more, because actually that's, well, I'm lost for words, and that doesn't often happen.
Well, it makes sense though, with all that's happening with the earth and geometric, I keep on saying geometrically, geophysically with the earth, right?
Yeah.
It would just make sense. The earth is going through this photon field right now. It's all light and we're made of light. So hold on to your hats, the evolution of our consciousness. I just know that, and this is getting back to what I said last night on my show, is that we're always, as humans, we've been programmed to believe that we have to keep on getting better and we're never good enough, and we were always thinking about how we can change and how we can get better and how we can be perfect. But we have to sit here and go, dust ourselves off and pat ourselves in the back. Look at how far we've come. Mm-hmm. We're changing on a scale that is absolutely magnificent. It's like we're changing issues and PTSD and trauma from our other lifetimes and in this lifetime within a day or weeks rather than years of therapy. So we have to really sit there and say, look at how far we've come. Don't you agree? And we need to acknowledge how far we've come and how much we've changed individually. Don't you agree, Azria?
Yeah, I mean, 110%. Sorry, now I've kind of, got my brain into gear. I would agree, because we're not only getting it from a spiritual, or what some people would class as woo-woo perspective. You've got theoretical physicists. You've got, there's different types of physics that are all coming out and actually going, yeah, this equals this. So it's not just a case of the spiritual ones, the gurus who are pointing things out now. It's actually science that is saying, yes, as you said, the different fields, the electromagnetic fields, the changes within our own biologies, the plants that are starting to come up, the earth that's beginning to move and uncover certain things, what we're actually finding in our seas now, because the energy is different, the vibrations are different. It's so exciting. And just to follow on from your bit there, Dee, around within ourselves, you made it this far. And that is one thing to give yourself the biggest pat on the back about, because there are people that might not have necessarily maybe wanting to leave voluntarily because actually it got a bit much, but you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
And this time that we're in now is so exciting. Everyone says, oh, change, because in the Matrix, we think, oh, change is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, the changes is if we change our perspective. And I think that was one thing that you were alluding to there, Dee, or certainly what I was picking up on, is the perspective. It is okay, 5-10 years ago, we wasn't talking about being star seeds. We were still seeing aliens as the little green men or ET phone home type of scenario. Now we're talking about Palladians and Lemurians and Syrians and so on and so forth. And our star family are sending us through things like 3i Atlas. There was that metal ball that fell in the States somewhere. Sorry, my mind's not as clear. So it's kind of like we're being fed these little bits of technology to start opening our minds. And as Dee was saying, open our consciousness of what is actually possible. We're now realizing that actually we're going back to earth and back to nature and back to like the remedies that this planet has provided us with. We don't necessarily, we need big pharma to a point because they've been there for so long, but actually for the day to day, we're going back to the earth because the earth can provide. I mean, there will come a point where big pharma won't exist, I'm sure, but yeah, we have, not only as a collective, but just think about you as an individual, what you don't stand for anymore. And again, this all comes into the ascension symptoms, because even if you look at what you actually accept in your life now, maybe you accepted it and just went along with things a few weeks, a few months, a few days, a few years ago, that you don't anymore. Because it's a lower vibration, it's a lower frequency that you might not necessarily have realized it at the time. And that you're realizing that actually no is a complete sentence. So look at all the little things that you've changed and all that have actually mounted to bigger things within you as well. Because if loads more people, and this is why it's called the awakening, because it started off with little groups of people talking about energies and gong baths and tarot and whatever. I mean, you used to have like the shamans and stuff like that. There used to be like one per village, and now you've got all of these amazing people sharing all of their insights and wisdom on the internet. There's the good and the bad, but still, I think it's incredible where we are and how we were going. And following on from what you were just kindly sharing there, dear, on screen, I can't wait for the next installment.
Mm-hmm. The next installment is complete emptiness. We are emptying our vessel. And this gets back to what we were saying at the beginning of the show. We can't be afraid to let things go. We have to be willing to shed these layers of skin and layers of these skin. I know it's scary, and if we use the beautiful analogy of, the caterpillar going in to the cocoon and metamorphosizing into the butterfly. It's dark, it's cramped, it's cold, it's scary. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what to expect. It's cramped, it hurts, it's uncomfortable. But then once you get through it, you're a butterfly and you fly away. So you have to be willing to let go of these things and really shed. And just when you think, a lot of my clients are like, I thought I dug deep. I thought I did my work, and I thought I did my inner child work, and I thought I did my inner wound work, and these things are coming up. And no, you really have to dig deep and be willing to just get rid of everything. You have to be willing to be an empty vessel in order to be filled. So I know I was taking everything that happened to me this year at first when I was going through it, because when you go through it, it sucks, right? But then when you get through it, you can look at it from a bird's eye perspective and see it in a different perspective now, more diplomatic and not feeling it. Now that I've felt it, I've gone through it and processed it. I can talk about it unemotionally from a divine perspective. And if all these people didn't leave my life, if I wasn't abandoned and betrayed by all these people, then I wouldn't have this new life and this new sovereignty and this incredible feeling of I don't need anyone or anything. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. I am strong and I am the master. I am completely sovereign and free, and I have complete freedom. And I wouldn't be this kick-ass, courageous, strong person if I didn't go through it. And, now I'm this empty vessel. So now all the good things and all the blessings and all the right people showed up, like you and your mom and Kate and Peyton and all these wonderful people and now it's just like I have room. But like you said earlier, if you're holding on to the dead weight, it's like you have to open up that energy. If you're holding on, if you're clenching on to stuck old patterns, you're not willing to give up things, and it's like you said, the Wile E. Coyote. You hold on to it and then you fall off the cliff. You have to be willing to let go of what's weighing you down. Let go of the big ball and chain. Give it up. And because just like Yeshua has that big, beautiful teddy bear in front of you, but it's hiding behind his back. If you're not willing to give up things and clear out the vessel and die every day to the person that you are, and then wake up every morning to the light being, to the higher self that you are, that's how you get there. What say you, Azria?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean, it's not just a case of, okay, well, I'm going to walk in on Monday and hand in my notice and everything's going to be fantastic. But I think the one thing that I always, the one lesson I learned again through everything that I went through is, and I can't remember to this day who said it to me, give yourself permission. Give yourself, oh, I go tingly. So when they start talking, that's when my shoulder goes. So if you ever see me getting a wobbly shoulder, that's my signal from them, is that I've passed on the message. But it is to give yourself permission, and as soon, because again, it's that frequency of release. And you might give yourself permission today, and then you might have to give yourself permission again next week, because again, it's building up that vibration. It's building up that connection. I'm giving myself permission to be seen. I'm giving myself permission to be me and only me. Not the me my mum wants. It's not the me my nan wants. It's not the me my dad wants. It's not the me my friends want. It's me. And as I said, again, it's that wave. Some days it might feel really, really good. The next day thinking, oh crap. And that's the days where you give yourself permission to go, no, that's okay. I can rest today. I can sit on the couch with my cup of tea and a biscuit, or I don't know, go and get your nails done, or whatever the case may be. But it's to give yourself permission. Because when you're a kid, you have to ask to go and do anything. In school, and don't even get me started with school, you have to ask to go pee. So that's one of the things that's got built into us, isn't it? And I just want to finish this little bit by saying one thing. Next, and it's a quote I heard today, and I think it's beautiful, is the next time you think about something beautiful, don't forget to include yourself.
I love that. That's beautiful.
It's one I heard today, and it's lovely.
That is wonderful. Oh, that is so wonderful. I love that. That's phenomenal. Well, everyone knows that I love Carrie Kay. She's another one from South Africa that is phenomenal. And she has some, she's helped me so much. She's got some nuggets. And I also reposted this on my channel. This is just absolutely beautiful. And Carrie, this is from Carrie Kay channel. I'm going to share this because I just think it's just phenomenal. You think it didn't count because no one saw you. This is emotional. No one saw the fall apart. The moment you grieved, what you said, you were over. The day you stopped running and sat beside your inner child. Wow. The time you met your inner critic with love instead of hate. You thought it only mattered if you looked graceful doing it. If it was Instagrammable, if someone applauded your healing. But the truth, you look like a raccoon. High on coffee, low on hope, wearing a stained t-shirt that smelled like yesterday's despair. You didn't change your shirt. You didn't pull yourself together. You just showed up exactly as you are. And you thought that made it less, but the truth, it made it more. More than you can imagine because you showed up. Tear stained and real. And I love you for it. You gorgeous, courageous warrior of light. Here's to snot flying. Soul illuminating, hair in a mess, but still showing up anyway moments. The only one you have, the only one you can face, that only you can rise from, ignite from, elevate from, and bring the whole damn collective with you. From my heart to yours, I see you, and you're doing beautifully. From my heart to yours, Carrie Kay. Wow, I didn't realize I'd get so emotional. But it just displays how we've been taught that we're never enough, that we have to be this, we have to be that, we have to be this. And these are tears of joy because the last week or so, ever since the 11/11 portal, I just realized that I finally love myself. I love myself for me, that I don't have to be anything. I don't have to be a certain weight. I don't have to make an amount of money. I don't have to have a husband. I don't have to have status. I finally love myself for me, and I get my worth for me and me alone. And that feeling is more than being a millionaire, even though I've never known what it's like to be a millionaire. It feels like $1 trillion. What say you about what I just read, Azria, as I get myself together?
I know, I'm just taking a few deep breaths here myself, in all honesty. I think that is gonna, from the person who posted it, sorry, I can't remember the lady's name, and from your energy and reading it, honey, I think that is powerful, and that resonates. It resonated with me. It's going to resonate with so many people because that's what you do, and that's what you did. It doesn't matter how many secrets you were hiding, how many, because of what had happened maybe behind closed doors, what had happened in the flat that nobody talked about, and how you didn't matter. You carried on. You still showed up for work because you were the professional. You still smiled at family parties. You still went on the day trips even though you hated it. You still, whatever the case may be. And I think there are so many people now who are now turning around and going, I can't do it anymore. And that's where that beautiful poem, I think, flowed on really well, for giving yourself permission, because actually You don't, I agree with it so intensely. You have no idea, because it isn't showing up in the right outfit because you're going to see that person. It's not having that certain job title or whatever. And this is what this collective shift and recalibration is really being, because with these light frequencies that are coming through, it's very heart related, it's heart centered. And beautiful, beautiful poems like that are coming out is where we are. Because I don't know about you, but I was always the kid who was told I was too sensitive. You're being too dramatic. How do you know that? But we're the people now who do hold their energy, who are those heart centers. And for those people who are now coming out and actually feeling, hold on a minute, there's a heart there, and that's mine, and it only belongs to me, and that's how I feel, and that's the center of my being. And I don't need to prove anything to anyone. And you know what? My favorite saying? That's okay. Because it's not being selfish. It's not being self-centered. It's not being too sensitive. It's not being over dramatic. You're just being you. Oh, now I'm going to get teary.
Yeah, it's okay. And the thing is that we don't have to be perfect or plastic. We just have to show up. We just have, because when we weren't, no one's perfect. We're just showing up, and give yourself. Here, we have applause. Wait a minute. I have applause. I'm going to give you a round of applause. This is the first time on Soul Sisters Sunday. Here's my round of applause. Here's Asria and I giving you a round of applause. There you go. That's for you. Give yourself a round of applause. You're still here. You made it. Congratulate yourself. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Well, Asria, we've been on a little over an hour. Anything that you want to add about the epic energetic upgrades before we end the show today?
I think one of the greatest things that has come out of this, or two things, sorry, is you're not alone. And Dee said that right at the beginning, is you're not alone. And second of all, give yourself a chance. Give yourself space and give yourself permission. Because you know what? Some people say we're at the start of this ride. Some people say we're in the middle. You know what? Who knows? Because it's all individual. So just sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. And I've just loved this conversation as always. So thank you, Dee.
Oh, thank you for being here. It's always an honor and a pleasure to have you on. And I love these conversations as well. My last words and words of wisdom would be, I just had a point and now I just forgot it. Oh God, I'm having a brain fart. Well, I guess the last thing I would say is that you don't have to, like I just said, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be plastic. Just be unapologetically you. Right? I was watching a couple of your shorts that you have, Asria, and we said this on our last show. The highest vibration is being authentically you. So give yourself a break. Be you. Don't compare yourself to others. You are magnificent. You are loved. You are adored. Every time, it's not about the amount of times that you fall off the horse. It's about all the times that you get back up. Oh, here's what I was going to say. Sorry, it came back to me. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Your isolation is your coronation, not your condemnation. We've been isolated and we've been the black sheeps of our families and our group of friends. Not because there's something wrong with us, not because, ew, ew, we have cooties. Unclean, unclean, like back in the Bible, right? Right? You know, girls have cooties, boys have cooties. Or back in the Bible, unclean, unclean, you have leprosy. No, it's actually a badge of honor. We're the black sheeps. We're isolated because we are getting coronated. We're getting our crowns on because we are light warriors. We are light workers. We're on the front line. And our isolation is because we're so fucking special and we're so kick-ass. That's why. Not because there's anything wrong with us. It's the opposite. So if you are condemned, if you are an outcast, here we go again. I'm going to give you a round of applause. It's your coronation, not your condemnation. We are the real royals. There you go. For ASRIA, who has the real royals across the pond. We should call them lizards. They're actually lizards.
Yes. The Lizard King, yeah.
All right, folks, until next week. I don't know. I think we might have the rest of the girls. I think it's going to be
next week.
So it's the first, I believe. Oh, no, we have one more week. Wait a minute. I think we have one more week. And then the first week in December, I think Kate and Peyton are going to join us. So I think it's in 2 weeks. Until then, my soul sister, it's always a pleasure and honor to be here. And we're sending you so much love. Bye, folks.